Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be watching the other side of the story from the video I made yesterday, right? The video that I made was how modern gaming is losing its touch to the people these days with all the microtransactions. But, of course, every story has two sides. And it's always good to listen to both sides of the story. So today, we're watching a video called The Bright Sides of Modern Gaming, because of course, as much as we want to hate on modern gaming, there is a lot of maybe things that we enjoy that we just don't know until somebody else says, hey, I actually love this in modern gaming. And if you love modern gaming and this video, make sure to go down, subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below what video you want me to react to, and let us get started.
The last few months on the internet,
Move my
I
webcam
noticed
like over
there's
here.
been lots of discourse going on about modern day gaming.
Yes.
Lots of discussions about how gaming is no longer what it used to be.
Okay, see, so this right here, this screen alone already makes me angry as hell. Loadouts, battle pass, store in the Gotham Suicide Squad game or the DC Suicide Squad game. That there's no bright side. There's no way you can defend that. Look at this loot on the left. Basic.
That gaming is being ruined by corporate greed. And yes,
True.
there's lots of truth in those discussions.
Hey, it's Asmongold.
Monetization being prioritized over fun gameplay is definitely not a lie. Not even full price.
If you're rich, well, that's another thing. If you're rich, microtransactions don't matter. So this is once again, if the punishment for the crime is only a fee, then the crime only exists for the poor. Final Fantasy.
Single player games are saved from the flood of corporate greed.
What?
Nightmare.
Yet most of these discussions seem to be one-sided, purely talking about how gaming evolved in a negative direction, while ignoring the many different aspects where it has actually evolved in a positive way.
That is true. Hollow Knight's a great game. Breath of the Wild, obviously great game. No microtransactions. I don't know what the hell Elden Ring was up there for. I know Elden Ring has no microtransactions, last I remember.
I get it.
God of War doesn't have any.
Complaining about something is way more fun. But sometimes the good aspects...
Vampire Survivor, great game.
So because of...
And also later, we're playing Darkest Dungeon 2. It just came out. 1.0 came out. No microtransactions. That's going to be a great game.
That, I'll be reaching out to my bloomer side instead of my doomer one for once.
What the hell?
And I will be presenting
Mom
the
spaghetti.
4 bright sides to modern day gaming.
4 modern sides. Immersion through technology.
Gaming is the best medium in which to experience a story. That's my opinion, but I think a lot of people would agree with me. But why is that? Well, I'd argue it's because it's the most immersive one. No other medium lets you experience a story and explore a fictional world as if you were a part of it.
Not true. Books have been doing that for centuries. I'm not gonna lie. When I used to read when I was younger, the Cirque the Freak series, I thought I was right next to Darren Shan fighting the goddamn Vampanese, protecting it, going through Des Tiny's office. I thought I was in there. Video games are a good way of maybe, also exploring it, but books do a really good job. Same with maybe like long TV shows. I'm sure Game of Thrones tells a story really well until you see the last episode. Am I right, boys?
Your own character or controlling a predefined character or characters in a story. And games are getting more and more immersive to this day.
True.
Because as technology improves, so does the way games are able to drop you in a more and more realistic looking world.
As long as you have a great graphics card.
Yes, I can already hear you think modern games might have better sound, better visuals,
True.
acting,
True.
animations, and so on.
True.
But that doesn't automatically make them better games.
Cyberpunk.
And yes, I agree, it doesn't automatically make them better.
What the
If
fuck?
the gameplay sucks, the gameplay sucks.
What game
no
is
lick
this?
of paint will ever be able to fix that. But on the other hand,
I have a 2080 as
games
well.
that do have a really strong gameplay core.
I'm upgrading soon.
Absolutely do get improved by utilizing modern day technology. And
Oh,
they are
shit.
better than how they used to be. Let's take a look into the past. Games way back in the day used to be really strong in one department. And yes, it's the one that
Pac-Man?
mattered most.
So, see, that's the thing, though, is a lot of games in the past have some... I don't know how they did it, right? I don't know how they cracked the code. But Pac-Man, right? Galactica, all these old time retro games somehow have staying Tetris. They have staying power that a lot of modern games will not have. Sure, Assassin's Creed 2 was a great game, but nobody's playing Assassin's Creed 2 today. People are still playing Pac-Man. People are still playing Tetris. Like, modern day gaming is only for is only in the moment. There's no the moment the next one comes out, nobody really has a right to play the old one, unless it's classic WoW. But once again, classic WoW, old game stuck around. It's so weird.
Gameplay. It was all the developers cared about, creating a fun game while at the same time dealing with the huge technological constraints of the time. Games back then were a completely separate medium from, let's say, animation, TV, or cinema. There were some games that already
people are still playing Mario. I was thinking about Mario Maker,
some type
but
of narrative, some type of characterization, but all of that was an afterthought. The game industry did their own thing, while the storytelling-based mediums did theirs.
True.
Some would say that's a good thing.
Hey, Street Fighter.
All that should matter, but I disagree.
Castlevania.
Adding story, adding character, and a narrative can make a game become so.
They'll probably do an
more.
author reboot.
And a studio called
Squaresoft.
Agreed.
Oh.
They believed that games could present the same thing as an anime or a movie, for example. Epic fights, emotional moments, character development, big explorable cities, huge set pieces.
Well, yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy changed the gaming industry as it is. A lot of games that we love now are because of Final Fantasy. But it's you also have to probably think of, like, what was The Office like? Because some dude just woke up. He woke up in Japan, rolled out of bed, took the train, got to work, and was like, hey, what if we make a story within our game? And he probably got laughed at. And then look at him. He's
And despite
I don't know if he's still alive.
Technology
I think so,
that
huh?
they had to deal with, they did
He's
find
probably
ways
still alive.
to make
He'd be
it
old
work,
as hell, but he's probably
to
alive.
turn their games
Tetris?
from just being small games into huge immersive adventures. Because of limitations, lots was still left to the player's imagination. Lots of things players needed to imagine themselves. They needed to translate the pixelated environments, characters, and bosses to real locations, real people, and battles in their own
I never
mind.
played Final
But
Fantasy
as
3.
technology grows, so does the developer's ability to make their full vision a reality, with each console generation allowing
Dude, I played this Mario. So I owned a fucking Game Boy, right? The one that flipped open, whatever the fuck that one was called. This is the only game I had for that Game Boy because I never got new video games. I don't even know how many times I beat this game when I was young. This shit was smacking, baby. Yeah, Game Boy SP. Yeah, I had a Game Boy SP. Oh, bro, me and my three brothers, well, my two brothers, we would play the shit out of this. Only game we had on the Game Boy SP.
And more to be directly presented to the player, and thus leaving less and less things to the player's
Lara Croft looking kind of
imagination.
thick as pixels, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Visuals. The future of gaming is looking more and more real. So in short, the growth of technology and the way AAA developers are able to fully utilize that technology
As long as you have a 4090.
more real and immersive is definitely one positive evolution. And it will only keep evolving from here.
That's crazy. The people
into
that
the
make
future.
Crash Bandicoot made the last one. The bright side of modern day gaming. Indie drive innovation.
While AAA studios keep pushing the boundaries on a technological front, it is really the indie game scene that does all the innovation.
Indie games are great. Speaking of indie games, I don't know if Darkest Dungeon 2 is still considered an indie game. Later today, Darkest Dungeon 2 just came out, so let's see. I'm plugging it again twice in the episode now. If you're watching this, go watch the Darkest Dungeon 2
it makes
series.
sense. AAA games
when it eventually
are way
is on
too
YouTube.
expensive to make. It's much safer for studios to just do the same thing they know will work over and over.
I hate that.
There's no risk involved that way. So luckily for us, the indie game scene exists, and oh boy has it grown so much from how it used to be.
Some of my
With
favorite video
free-to-use
games are indie
engines
games.
like
Neon
Unity
White,
and Unreal, and the internet
Fight
being
Night.
filled with tutorials and guides. Pretty much anyone can make a game these days. And it shows because hundreds upon hundreds of new indie games are released every
A
single
lot of them
day.
aren't good, but a lot of them are
unlike
gems.
AAA companies, indie studios are pretty much forced to innovate and invent new exciting gameplay. Otherwise, there is no way for their game to stand out above all the rest. In this battle royale of indie titles happening every single day,
Fall
only
Guys,
the truly innovative and fun
Sifu,
games
dude, a
survive,
lot of great games.
which results in not only
Undertale,
more fun
obviously.
games for us to play, but also results in AAA companies taking notes about what
was
works
that
in
one
the
called?
indie
Was it
scene,
Nuclear
and then
Throne,
taking
right?
it to the AAA scene to continue working on the concepts with higher budgets.
That's
An example
Reversal.
for this, and pretty
What
much
is it
the
called?
one that took the game industry by storm the most, is the battle royale genre, which was actually invented by one creative gamer with the alias of Player Unknown. He first created battle royale modes as mods for DayZ and Arma 3, and continued to work as a consultant.
That's crazy to think about how big battle royales are now with Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite. And it all started because one dude, once again, just like the Legend of Zelda, no, just like Final Fantasy, some dude rolled out of bed one day and, was like, what if we're just in a giant gas circle that closes and we have to kill each other and the last one to survive wins? People are like, dude, what are you talking about? That shit's never going to work. What do you mean? Yeah. All I'm saying is that if you have an idea, right? Look at me. If you have an idea, go for it, man. Go for your idea. Somebody invented battle royales. They're great. The person who told fucking Square Enix that Final Fantasy should have stories, they're great. Dude, you could be great. You could be on this video one day. I could be reacting to you. Don't forget it.
On the popular H1Z1 battle
Don't
royale.
give up on your dreams.
After that, he started working at an indie studio called Bluehole, and created a standalone game that would completely represent his vision with Player Unknown Battlegrounds, the very first full release battle royale game. Soon after its enormous success, AAA studios had to jump on the bandwagon and collectively made an insane amount of money off the back of this one very creative mod maker. Aside from that, the ever-increasing indie scene is also known to have saved tons of old genres from the past, like Metroidvanias for example. And boy, are they better than they have ever been.
Hollow Knight's great.
And how can we forget about survival horror? How the indie scene pretty much carried this genre on its back for years after AAA studios completely gave up on them in the PS3, Xbox 360 era.
Bro, don't even.
So in short, indies
don't even show Resident Evil
made
6.
A positive impact on the gaming scene as a whole, and will continue
Stray.
to do so
I played
into
that
the
game.
future as technology becomes even more accessible. I can't wait to see what creative experiences devs from all over the world will be able to come up with.
The bright side of modern day gaming. AAA single player isn't going anywhere.
Rockstar Games. Everyone knows them. They are one of the most acclaimed developers in the AAA gaming space, and oh boy do they swim in cash. Grand Theft Auto Online still milks the shit out of its player base every single day, earning Rockstar potentially millions of dollars a month, with the game being an absolute pay-to-win mess. Yet despite all that,
this game came out on PS3. Bro, Grand Theft Auto 5 was on PS3, PS4, and PS5. And now Steam, and probably the PS5 Pro. Like, dude, I don't know how the hell they were able to do it, but they did it. And you can't hate on them, man, because they still put out Red Dead Redemption 2, which was amazing, right? So even though Grand Theft Auto 5 has been sticking along, they were still making great games, right? It wasn't like they focused Grand Theft Auto 5 and then Red Dead Redemption 2 was terrible. Red Dead Redemption 2 still knocked the boots, no pun intended, off of all the cowboys. So, I mean, hopefully GTA 6 does the same.
Still has its reputation as being a legendary studio, while EA, Ubisoft, and Blizzard, for example, have absolutely been dragged through the mud by the general public
Ubisoft
for
fucked it.
monetizing all their games so heavily. But what is it that Rockstar has that the other studios don't have?
Creativity?
Well, I'd argue it's Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I just said that.
This game released in 2018 and was praised by the gaming public as an absolute masterpiece.
That's what I just said.
Winning tons of awards. In its standalone single-player component, not a single microtransaction is to be found. No early access bullshit, no paid cosmetics, no cutting it up in parts and selling stuff later. It's just a good old single-player experience you pay full price for, and in return, you get the full game with nothing held back from you. So
That's what you
Rockstar
want.
seems to have a really great approach to its business. On one hand, Grand Theft Auto Online still keeps pumping money for them as a live service, and on the other hand, the variety gamer audience was made happy.
They know what they're
with
doing,
a
man.
high-quality AAA single-player game, one they'll remember for years.
Right, so this is what happens, though, is the people who played Red Dead Redemption 2, when they're done with it, they might go play GTA Online and spend money on GTA Online because they're like, dude, Rockstar's a good company. They put out Red Dead Redemption 2, so I'm more willing to give my money to Rockstar and support them because I know that the next game they make, it might be as good or even better. There's no downside in a way in some of these consumers' mind. But other games that force you just to, like, look at Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite was free to play, and they jacked up all of their microtransaction prices, and people were like, this game fucking sucks. And these microtransactions are too big. I don't want to pay money, and I don't want to play the game. It's a lose-lose. But Rockstar got it right.
And I heavily believe this might become a popular approach in the gaming industry. One thing we have to accept. Every major publisher, and I say every single one of them, will keep trying to get a fully monetized live service.
Well, Fortnite has some of the best skins ever.
Capcom will try to get a successful Resident Evil multiplayer game off the ground, despite nobody really caring. Square Enix will want to go even further and get an NFT live service off the ground. Good luck to them. Blizzard, well, will just keep...
No, that's not true. No, they already said Diablo 4 is not going to be pay to win. Everything's strictly cosmetic.
Being Blizzard, and even PlayStation Studios, known for their high-quality single-player games, has announced that every major one of their first-party studios has at least one multiplayer title in development. Despite all that looking really terrifying, single-player audiences don't have anything to fear because of one simple reason. Live services are risky as hell. If they succeed, they will make more money than anything else in the world. But if they fail hard. And oh boy, the gaming community doesn't easily forget.
Yeah. Dude, Babylonian Fall was supposed to be good, man. Supposed to be good. Oh my god. Don't even talk about this game. Oh, don't even show Spider-Man. Oh my god, don't talk about Halo. No.
So in conclusion, AAA single-player games will simply never
talk about
disappear.
Halo.
Releasing one won't make you as much money as a live service would, but if you're a competent game studio, releasing one will be a more assured success. It will still make lots of money.
Yep.
The most vocal gaming community will love you for it.
Yep.
And non-live service games are also more likely to get you to score during award season. And
I mean, like I said, even though I play a lot of fighting games and competitive games on my channel, my favorite games are all single player games within the last few years. There's no multiplayer game that's my favorite game. And I'm sure Darkest Dungeon 2 that I'm playing later is going to be a great fucking game. And then when Street Fighter 6 comes out, I'll probably be playing that. But for the next month or so, I might just be playing Darkest Dungeon 2. I'm loving Last Epoch, right? Diablo 4, which is kind of a multiplayer live service game, but you don't have to play multiplayer. Diablo 4 beta is coming out. I'm excited to play that. Playing Dead Island 2 right now. That game's it's getting better. But there's not many multiplayer games that I would put in my top 10 games. The only ones I can think of are from the 360 era. I was being like Modern Warfare 2, Gears of War 3, those types of games. Not really many recent ones.
A remake is an even easier win for both publisher and gamer. If you look around, you'll see that most major publishers still release so many high-quality single-player games.
I don't know why they show Street Fighter 6. That's realistically a multiplayer game, but they do have a good... Oh! The bright side of modern-day gaming. There are good live service games.
Let's end this video on a shorter topic, but a fundamental truth that lots of gamers seem to ignore. Not all live services are bad.
They're not.
Yep, it's true. Lots of them are hot garbage, but not all. Final Fantasy XIV.
Dude, people keep saying I should play Final Fantasy XIV. People keep saying I should do Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not. Because I have no friends. I'm not playing this game alone. But if I had friends that play these types of games, I'll be on Final Fantasy XIV.
World of Warcraft.
Destiny's trash.
League of Legends,
Trash.
Valorant,
Trash.
Apex, Fortnite,
Trash.
and so
Decent.
many more that I can't mention.
All those games were bad.
They all have dedicated communities for a reason, and they do very well even 10 years after their respective release. And with the growth of technology, the potential these more social-oriented games have to grow and evolve
I can't say that word.
Away the potential for growth
Can't
in the
say that word during a
market.
YouTube video.
Despite all that, when looking at discourse about games, all that is talked about is how live services are stupid and how they pretty much ruin everything.
So, see, that's not true, though. Is live service, in a way, also rejuvenated gaming because of the large player base? There's probably people who play live service games, but then queue up with a guy and they're like, hey, are you playing this other game? Oh, we should go play this co-op game together, right? You take your Battle Royale boys to go play Dead Island 2, right? You take your Battle Royale boys to go play Rainbow Six Siege, right? I'm not Dead Island. You take your, Apex boys to go play Rainbow Six Siege, right? You're able to meet more people on these live service games, and then you take them to maybe a more secluded co-op game where you guys can just bro out and not worry about winning and being sweaty.
And that's because, of course, the angry mob of single-player variety gamers is far more vocal in that field than the people that actually enjoy these types of games.
Overwatch,
which in a way is understandable because for a time it looked really bad. It looked like the entire gaming industry was about to
Holy shit, this guy has 2 gamer chairs. I have 2 gamer chairs. That's how I know this man's a gamer. We also have the same exact second gamer chair. I have a better first gamer chair than him, but we have the same exact second gamer chair. This guy is a gamer. So I trust what he's saying.
More towards multiplayer and leave single player in the dust. But like discussed earlier, when you look around, 2023 is filled to the brim with awesome single player games.
That is true.
So all I'm trying to say
I want to throw Jedi Survivor in there. That shit apparently cannot run.
is it's clear the industry will keep
That shit
providing
cannot run.
both types of games.
This game
so
looks
there's
dog
no
shit.
need to shit on every single live service that comes out anymore. Not dismiss one immediately.
I'm excited to play
just
that.
because it has
Ooh,
live
2
service.
days. I'm going to be
If
playing
you
that.
do that, well, maybe you might miss out on some genuinely fun game experiences that are also just fun for a variety gamer to play for a month and then move on from.
The bright side of modern day gaming. Conclusion.
So in conclusion, when looking at AAA gaming, we all like to imagine a really bleak future.
True.
But it could be a lot brighter than we think. And like presented, in some regards, it's actually evolving in a positive direction. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe.
Leave a like,
As
subscribe.
a YouTube channel that just started creating content, it is heavily appreciated. What direction do you
I'm also
think
creating
video
content.
games are headed in? Leave a comment down below. I'm interested to see other people's opinions on this topic. Thank you all for watching, and catch you all later.
All right, that's the end of it, right? I mean, truly, he talked about it all. There's modern gaming for single player content. I feel like is on an all-time high most of the time. A lot of single player games do really well. Obviously, Cyberpunk flops, but I mean, Jedi Survivor is getting good reviews, even though it doesn't run. Red Dead Redemption 2 is doing good. Obviously, Darkest Dungeon 2 playing that later today. But I mean, that's gonna be the end. Hopefully, you guys agreed with my takes throughout the video. If not, leave a comment down below. Leave a like. Of course, subscribe to the channel. We're at 136 subscribers, so if magically this could just get up to 1,000 subscribers after you see this, that would be just super sick, super sick. And if so, I'll make sure that your next live service game has no microtransactions. But thank you, everybody. See y'all again next video. See ya.